We're skipping the pleasantries today and diving headfirst into the absolutely terrifying return of Damayanti. Seriously, if you thought you knew the limits of dark magic, you might want to buckle up, because the lore we're unpacking today basically rewrites the whole rulebook. We're going to break down the strict, almost mathematical supernatural rules that govern her cursed existence, and look at exactly how a centuries-old grudge has just been unleashed on the modern world. So this is the ultimate price for her new power. It's this gruesome ultimatum dropped on her by the defeated Tantrika. And it isn't just some empty threat. It is a hard, biological imperative. See, Damayanti has inherited immense power. We're talking the combined dark forces of a Dayani, a blood-drinking witch, and a Karna Pishakini, which grants her these crazy mind-reading abilities. But the catch? She is now shackled to this horrifying daily requirement just to keep her youth and her life intact. But right before this curse completely takes over, she commits her first act of sheer unbridled vengeance. She brutally rips out King Bhim Singh's heart. Intense, right? Well, when she gets back home, she is hit with the ultimate betrayal. She finds out her own father was actually planning to sell her off to a local zamindar for 500 mudras. 500! That's literally just a handful of ancient coins. And honestly, this single revelation just snaps whatever last tether she had to human morality, which leads us to this deeply unsettling moment at the family dinner table. She sits down, completely oblivious to the fact that her internal biology has fundamentally mutated. She ravenously wolfs down 8, and then 4 more rotis. But normal food just isn't cutting it anymore. Her mother is sitting there totally baffled, but Damayanti starts physically overheating. Her eyes turn pitch red, and it perfectly sets the stage for this tragic loss of control as an insatiable craving completely takes over. Driven totally mad by this unbearable thirst, she runs out into the pitch-black forest. She's burning up, she's desperate, and she's acting on pure predatory instinct. She attacks this hidden, shrouded figure in the dark, draining them completely just to restore her human form. And it's only the next morning, when she sees a familiar shawl lying next to a drained corpse right outside her home, that she realizes the horrific truth. Her very first victim, it was her own father. Section 1. The mathematical rules of immortality. Decades roll by, and she is just frozen in youth. 40 years pass, her mother dies of old age, and the villagers are definitely starting to whisper because Damayanti still looks perfectly young at 75. Fast forward another 23 years, and she hits this crazy supernatural deadline, at exactly 98 years and 6 months old. She gets this sudden shudder in her body, and the goddess of the dark world delivers a chilling message, giving her exactly 18 months to prepare for what's coming. And this brings us to the 100-year crisis. The goddess makes it crystal clear. The second she hits a century, the rules of survival completely flip. She'll instantly lose the ability to consume the blood of the living. So, no more hunting living humans. Instead, if she doesn't figure something out, she faces rapid, excruciating aging and, you guessed it, certain death within months. So now she has to follow this highly specific, incredibly grueling procedure. Once she turns 100, hunting the living is out. Instead, she has to consume the blood of exactly 11 corpses. And here's the kicker. She has exactly 55 days to get this morbid task done. Why? Because if she misses that 55-day window, she literally drops dead on day 56. No extensions, absolutely no exceptions. But why go through all this? Well, if she actually manages to pull off this gruesome 11-corpse ordeal before the clock runs out, she doesn't just survive. She gets a massive 1,000-year extension on her life. She basically graduates from being a cursed witch to a full-blown, ancient, immortal entity. Talk about an ultimate payout. And if you know the deeper lore, you know she actually almost succeeded. She took advantage of the chaos from a plague in King Vishwajit's realm to find her corpses. But Princess Meghalaya, this fierce, righteous warrior, attacked and ruined the ritual at the absolute last second. Because of that disruption, Damayanti lost her powers and got locked away in a deep slumber in a cursed cave, just waiting for the day the princess's reincarnated footsteps might finally wake her up. Section 2. Resurrection in the Modern Era. Boom! A massive, violent lightning storm batters the area and strikes literally blast open her coffin deep inside that cave. Damayanti steps out, eyes glowing red, nails sharp as ever. She's laughing maniacally, totally convinced her 1,000-year reign of terror is finally starting. She can feel the dark magic surging through her veins all over again. But the reality check hits almost immediately. She walks outside, looks into a nearby pond, and instead of her flawless, eternal youth, she sees a frail, old woman staring back at her. Instant panic. She starts questioning everything. Did her time actually run out? Did she somehow sleep right through her 1,000-year extension? And making the panic even worse is this massive culture shock. She looks up into the sky and sees what she thinks is a giant metal bird. She closes her eyes, taps into her dark powers, and actually hears the voices of humans sitting inside this flying machine. That's when it truly hits her. She hasn't just woken up. She's woken up in a completely alien, modern world, centuries away from the kings and swords she used to know. Desperate, incredibly weak, and blinded by a raging thirst, she wanders right into a violent storm in Janakpuri. And there, she crosses paths with a modern-day thief roaming the empty streets. He sees this frail old woman struggling in the rain and offers to carry her on his back. But this isn't some act of kindness. He's secretly plotting to take her to a secluded spot, rob whatever wealth she has, and murder her. Big mistake. Huge. Remember those mind-reading abilities from the Karnapishakini inside her? Yeah, she hears his treacherous thoughts loud and clear. Even in her super-weakened elderly state, her dark magic is still right there. She just effortlessly overpowers him, her hands clamping around his throat with this terrifying supernatural force, and she drains his life force right there in the middle of the stormy streets. The physical transformation that happens next is immediate and honestly terrifying. As she drains him, her freezing body temperature completely normalizes. Her wrinkled skin tightens up, her stark white hair turns thick and pitch black. Literally within seconds, her youth and extreme beauty are back to 100%. It proves the Tantrika's original rule still applies perfectly. She wasn't dying of old age in that cave. She was literally just starving. So, with her supernatural strength fully back online, Diamante realizes that her 1,000-year cycle actually was successfully triggered all those centuries ago. All the memories of her betrayal come rushing back. And now, armed with her full power in a modern world that doesn't even remember her, she sets her sights right on the reincarnated princess, Meghna, who is out there right now just trying to live a normal, everyday life. I'm going to leave you with this chilling thought to ponder. An all-powerful, immortal entity is now loose in our modern world, armed with mind-reading abilities and an insatiable thirst for blood. And she is coming for a woman who has absolutely no idea she is the target of a centuries-old apocalyptic grudge. How do you even fight a ghost from the past when you don't believe in monsters? Keep questioning everything and stay curious.